So, Nick, you just came off our stage. How did it feel? I know you love doing these things. How did it feel?
I went through the usual arc. I went low, I came through, I felt better at the end.
And what do you do as you're in that low part? Is it sort of, positive chat? Is it learning your lines? Like, what are you doing in that bit, like before, when you're in that sort of lull period?
Honestly, pure victim. I'm just there getting upset that I ever said yes to the whole thing in the first place.
Well, I got to tell you, man, it's funny because I think a lot of people feel like that. But I can tell you from my point of view, also from the audience's point of view, you looked incredibly comfortable. You're having fun. Jokes were landing.
Well, this is something you taught me, mate. You taught me this actually a long time ago, is to go out there and enjoy yourself. And every time I don't have a good experience, I come back and I think I just didn't enjoy myself. And once you enjoy yourself, always helps if you get an early gag to land. People are laughing, people are relaxed, and then you can enjoy yourself the whole way through it. And that's thankfully what happened today.
Awesome. And we were talking about, because you were interviewing today, right?
Yep.
Usually you're up there keynoting, doing a big stock, you were interviewing. And I know we spoke about, when the person's answering your question, naturally we start to think, oh, well, what am I going to ask next? And then you tend to potentially not listen.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Did it happen? Did it not happen? And
It's definitely happened to me before. It didn't happen today. It was something, again, that people had taught me to think about a bit more, like actually look at them, listen, and then you can evolve the conversation and roll it along. But like I said, I don't do a lot of moderating. I'm normally on the panel. That's much easier because you're just saying what you think. Doing the panel, a little bit harder, different skill. We'll get there.
mate, you did an incredible job. Let's turn to AI.
Yep.
There is so much Debbie Downer about AI. People are worried. They don't want to lose their job.
Yep.
I know you're on the positive side of this conversation.
Yes.
Tell us what we don't know about the AI revolution that is actually happening to us.
Yeah, there's two things that's going on. One, there's a lot of money being spent to build out all this compute capacity. And building out that compute capacity is going to create a lot of opportunity for the companies that can help build this capacity. So that's semiconductor companies, contractors, air conditioners, power, you name it. They're all going to benefit. It's a classic boom, no different to the boom that we had in the super cycle here in Australia, the resources boom. It's a boom that'll probably go for 10 years. And so the good news is there's going to be a lot of chances for people to make money who position themselves in booms. Like, these things have happened for hundreds of years. My hometown of Melbourne is the prospect, is the product of a gold boom in the 1850s, which made it the richest city in the world for a period of time. So that's the first good news. We're going to spend a lot of money.
Hold up. Melbourne was the richest city in the world?
Richest city in the world.
When?
1850.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Government House has a ballroom that's bigger than the ballroom in Buckingham Palace.
Okay. I think Trump's having a crack
And
at a bigger ballroom right now.
And interestingly, all the art stuff is from, people like Sir Alfred Felton, who gave his fortune to the arts, which basically created the arts in Melbourne. It's true. You can look it up. And he basically made shovels and shoes in the gold boom.
So what about the people that aren't working for those companies, that aren't investing in it?
What's
the
gonna
average
happen?
Joe that's out there doing their current role, which feels like it's being replaced. What's your outlook for them?
Yeah, so I'd have a different view. I just think about this technology as helping make your life easier and make it better. So I'll give you a couple of good examples, okay? So before the smartphone, you would have to go to the airline and check in before you actually got on the plane. You'd have to go to the check-in, check in your bags, etc. You can now check in online. You used to have to go to a bank to do your banking. You can now do your banking on an app, okay? That's what the smartphone revolution did. AI will be very similar. Every company will build some sort of AI to help up-level your job or up-level your time that you get to spend. And I, for one, am very happy for the mobile revolution. I like my mobile phone. It's made my life a lot easier. I would expect AI revolution to work in a very similar way. It's going to make my life easier. It's going to give me more spare time. It's going to allow me to monitor things when I'm in or out of the office. And it's going to be fantastic to see all the amazing applications that get built from all this compute power.
What about all the companies that are basically laying people off, replacing? Is that the beginning and then it's going to evolve, or where do you think that is at? Because that's obviously got a lot of people's attention, right?
It has. They're not actually laying them off. They're just not adding that many. And this is a problem. Like, it's going to be the hardest problem I have right now is, like, I have an 18-year-old son. He's at university. He wants to get into finance, funny that. And, I have trouble telling him where to position himself because I'm not quite sure how the world's going to evolve in the future. I know it's going to be better. I just can't tell him which industries you should focus on, if that makes sense.
And what makes you so sure that it's going to be better? I'm not saying I disagree, but I love the fact that you are all in on this, which is great.
It's going to be
Why
better.
Why is it going to be better?
Because the tasks that AI will solve for you are the menial ones. They're the menial ones that you don't want to do. In the same way that mobile solved a whole bunch of tasks that you didn't want to do. I didn't like going to a bank branch. In fact, I hated it. I hated having to get to an airport 2 hours early. Mobile solved that. AI is going to solve all these menial tasks for me, and not just in software, okay? Think about autonomous driving, okay? Think about how nice it'd be if the car drove itself. More time to sit on my phone. Think about if you get AI to do robotics in a serious way. What's a robot going to do for you? It's going to do your washing. It's going to polish your shoes. It's going to do all those menial things I do, but I don't love doing, that is going to then give me more spare time or give me more time at work to be more productive. It's going to upskill me into all these other areas in pretty much the same way the mobile phone did.
Yeah. And look, I'm sure you don't have a clear answer on this, but if we imagine a world where all of those menial things are being done, maybe the research is being done, maybe the email is being written, what do you think the skills are that young people should be focusing on now to set themselves up for first job, second job?
Yeah, and I agree. This is where it gets a bit harder. But I think we've been thinking about a lot of this internally, and you're definitely the entertainment industry is clearly going to grow. Chow Ma on the team pitched TKO as an idea. That's what we're talking about. Like, the time you have to watch entertainment, go to entertainment, is going to go up. The time you spend probably playing video games is going to go up. The time you spend making video games or doing your hobbies is going to go up. None of these are bad things, by the way. I think these are good things. And so from our point of view, you want to position more towards the creative, if that makes sense. So if you're a fund manager, you want to be more towards the stock picker. Or you want to be more towards the creative, or you pivot the other way and you use AI to do the quantitative, if that makes sense. You use AI to go solve these tasks, and you basically go work in this industry of solving all these menial tasks. Those are the two ways you go. But the medium level, auditor, medium level job where you're sort of the junior person, they're the ones I worry about the most, because they're going to get lost, and these kids are going to have to pivot one way or the other.
Last question. What's the one thing that you're thinking about, you're obsessed about, that you think most people aren't, that you'd like them to be thinking about?
Yeah, look, I said this on the stage at my last comment as well. Like, we actually haven't even built these big clusters yet, right? Like, so they're building the data centers now, right? The biggest GPU cluster in the world has 200,000 GPUs in it. They're building ones with 2 million GPUs in it. And they're not 2 million GPUs, they're 2 million of the better GPUs that are 40 times more powerful than the GPUs before.
Wow.
So we are going in the biggest build out of compute capacity, ever envisaged. What's that compute capacity going to be able to do? Like, what are these models going to be able to do? Like, GPT-5's like trained on old technology. What's GT6, 7, and 8 going to be able to do? What are we going to be able to solve? And I think we're going to be able to solve a lot of menial tasks, but I also think you're going to be able to solve a lot of cool stuff, like cancer, like drug discovery, like all of these issues. A lot of the issues that the world has, we will be able to solve with AI. And I honestly can't wait to see what's going to happen. And so we have still not got to the application bit yet. We're just in the shovels bit. So if you think about it, like, Uber didn't appear until like 3 years after the smartphone appeared. We know what ChatGPT is. What are the other great applications that are going to appear from AI that are going to make our lives so much better? And personally, I can't wait to find them, because they're going to be great investment opportunities, but they're also going to be great products.
I know I said final question, but I've got one more because you made me think of it. The story of AI.
Because you were listening.
Correct. The story of AI. How important is that going to be? Because really what you just told me is a story. Yeah. And I wonder, what is the story and how important is that going to be? Because it feels like we've sort of got to take everyone on this journey.
No, 100%.
And there are people starting to bark and not like it.
So this is a really good point. There used to be, in history, a group of people called the Luddites, right? Do you remember what the Luddites were?
Yep.
And they're named after a guy called Luddite, and now it's a term. There's a real danger that happens again. There's a real danger that people get too scared by it and don't push forward. That happens with every technology. The only difference now is you can't really regulate this stuff anymore when it's digital. It sort of happens anyway. People either adopt it or they don't. and most people are going to adopt it. So digitalization is very hard to regulate, but I agree, you are going to have to take people on a story because people are scared of it. Invest in the journey here. It's not going to be a straight line, but the destination, I think, is going to be much better than where we are today.
Sounds like the headline is it's going to happen anyway, so get involved.
I think so. That's what happened last time with the mobile cycle. That's what happened with social media. And we didn't even talk about PCs, okay? Think about what life was like before you had a PC, right? And think about how much that improved your life, okay? So this is just the next step. And if you don't embrace the next step, you're going to get left behind.
Awesome, mate. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.